Well, Dick, here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence, and nobody can hang with my stuff. I'm just a big, hairy American winning machine. If you ain't first, you're last.
I can't even think about all of the shit I did to fit in. Past hard to watch like a fucking scary movie. I'm always happy to meet somebody that never knew me. Change for the better, hope niggas are living through me. I put it all on the wax so the people can know the true me. Hard to remain sane when the people you love the most is what's causing the damn pain. Y'all beef by the same thing, we ain't playing the same game. It's all for my family. She the girl of your fucking dreams, but to me she a plain Jane. You dipper and ball man, I duck when them calls came. This that higher level thinking. I'm the type to jump the fuck off of the shit before it's sinking. Not here for no new shit, my game slider boost it. Ain't I don't have to prove shit, Rockstar fight the fool shit. My movie, this the new script. I want a life with no bullshit, nigga. I know on these news clips, that's why I dap him and move quick. Won't be around when they move switch, won't be around when they lose clips, won't be around for they lose lips. Might be the reason they pull shit. Yeah.
Yo, how's everybody Sunday going? How's everybody Sunday? A little bit different upload today because it's not nighttime. It's not nighttime. But listen, we gotta talk. I just got done, so I haven't been up on my UFC lately. I haven't been watching too much UFC lately. Very, very busy times in my personal life. And UFC just haven't been at the top of the table right now. I love the sport still. Has not been at the top of my to-do list. So I forgot that Leon Edwards took on Kamaru Usman last night. And I woke up this morning and I saw that Kamaru Usman was knocked out cold with seconds, I think, left in the match. What a sport. What a sport. You can get caught at any moment. Congratulations to Leon Edwards. I don't know how long of a reign this will be for Leon. I kind of think, I rewatched the whole fight this morning. Man, to see Kamaru Usman lose that fight like that when he was about to win the fight. It's kind of remind me of the fight we had a couple months ago between Yuri and Glover. How Glover was about to win and then just seconds left before he was about to reclaim his title. About to retain his title, defend his title. He was tapped out. Boy, we got two good rematches headed down the pipeline. I could tell you that for the UFC. I hope they book those on the same card. Dana is a smart man. I'm pretty sure he's trying to get that Yuri, unless that's already been booked, Yuri and Glover rematch on the same card as a Kamaru Usman and a Leon Edwards. I think we got the next best trilogy coming up in UFC history. These boys 1-1 now. And now, that's just a crazy way for Kamaru to lose that fight. And I love Kamaru. But I want to say something real fast. I'm not making an excuse for Kamaru. But as a fighter, not on the level of a Kamaru, obviously. But I do want to say something that I've been very consistent on throughout my time watching UFC. Anytime fighters get big time and they start getting all the interviews, they on the talk shows, they starting to get a whole bunch more publicity, making more money. I love it, but they usually end up losing a big fight following. Pat McAfee is becoming bad luck for UFC fighters. I'm telling you, they go on his show, they lose. Stipe, Kamaru. The only one who didn't lose after they went on his show, I think, was Ngannou. But everybody else, man, Chico Vera ended up beating Sean O'Malley. Like, Jesus. Yo, did Sean O'Malley fight last night? I cannot remember if he fought Jan Blachowicz. If he fought Peter Yan at last night. I gotta recheck on the entire pay-per-view. I didn't see the entire pay-per-view. I just had somebody send me the Kamaru Usman fight because they know I'm a Kamaru fan. And I'm still a Kamaru fan, but I think this type of L gonna humble Kamaru, even though he knew he was about to win the fight. Knowing that you can get caught like that at any time because you're not on, like, And when you kind of look at the fight, how he wasn't really doing too much damage to Leon when he had him on the ground and whatnot. Like, Kamaru last night had a lot of improvements to his game that I saw. And this was one of the first times I said to myself, like, yo, Kamaru got some improvements to hit with his game. His ground and pound, not there. Don't have a submission game. Like, those are some key things that now that Leon Edwards brought. I don't know how Leon Edwards was the fighter to bring it out of him, because I didn't think Leon was a better fighter than Colby Covington. I don't think Leon is, I think Leon is better than Jorge, but just not that much better. Like, I don't think he would be able to stand up with Jorge. But Jorge looked a little bit slower in his stand up with Colby Covington. But Colby Covington is a different beast. I think both of those dudes could beat Leon Edwards. But I'm interested to see how this go now. It's kind of like when Amanda Nunes lost. It just looked like Amanda was out of it. She wasn't really Amanda in that fight. And then you find out she was recovering from COVID, actually, and all these other things. But you see how she won the second time around. I don't... Man, it's just a tough way to lose a fight, to be honest with you. It's a tough way to lose a fight. Man, I know Kamaru killing himself over this one. And I know he thinking about, like, all these interviews that I did. Before I got big, I wasn't doing interviews. I was focused. He probably going to say he wasn't focused. All these different things as a fighter you got to tell yourself to, cope with losing. And I know how I feel, bro, because I hate losing. I hate losing. Losing is one of the worst feelings in the world. One of the worst, especially when you lose and you was about to win. When somebody snatch a victory from the jaws of defeat, like Edwards did, like Leon Edwards did. Like, you gotta think about this. Leon Edwards had a fight. I already told you about how Yuri, I wish I knew how to pronounce this dude's last name, but the Yuri and the Glover fight, I told you how that was like a last second victory for Yuri as Glover was about to win. That's snatching the victory out of the jaws of defeat. But just put this in, Leon Edwards' fight with Nate Diaz a couple months ago, he was winning that fight, and literally like a minute left in that fight, maybe less, he was about to lose the fight because he almost got knocked out. He had got clipped by Nate Diaz, and I don't think Nate realized it because he had fumbling and everything. He was dazed. Nate could have finished him just a minute or so less before he was about to win a fight. It's so crazy how this UFC shit go, man. It's so crazy. And while I do love the UFC, this is one of the many reasons I just don't think I'll ever love it more than I love the WWE. Because in the WWE, you can book guys to win for a long time and not lose their titles, and book them as a strong champion if everything may. Obviously, it's times where people get booked and you don't feel like they should be booked a certain way and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, it sucks seeing somebody like Kamaru lose because he is such a dominant champion. He is such a great champion. It's back like when you saw Anderson Silva be such a dominant champion for a long time. Eventually, you wanted to see him continue to win, and when he finally lost, it was like, damn, what the hell? You had to make all type of excuses to cope with watching such a dominant champion lose. That's why I always say Bones is the GOAT, because Bones beat Bones. Nobody else could beat this man. In that octagon, Dominic Reyes can walk around bitching and crying about, oh, I beat John. Whatever, bro. He can do that all he wants to. At the end of the day, nobody has beaten this man inside that octagon. The only person that was able to beat John Jones was John Jones. And it make a difference no matter how you try to, oh, well, he was doing steroids. No, he wasn't during that long runs. Get your facts straight. I understand when you don't like somebody, it's easy to try to use things like that to try to discredit their legacies. But trust me, if he was a true steroid user, Dana wouldn't be walking around calling that man the GOAT. If Anderson Silva was a true steroid user, and Dana wouldn't be walking around. You think Dana would really be giving dudes who was doped out on steroids credit? Come on, Dana's not even that type of human being. Stop it. If John Jones' legacy was truly tainted by steroids in Dana's eyes, he would never be calling that man the GOAT. But Dana's not a dumbass. I don't agree with everything Dana says. I don't agree with everything Dana do. But Dana's not a dumbass. The man built this company up from the ground up, and it's a multi-billion-dollar organization, bro. If the man he know the odds that they got on this sport. And he will tell you all the time, every time I see him talk about it, John Bones Jones is the greatest of all time. Because it's a difference when you've never seen this dude lose in that octagon. I done seen Amanda Nunes lose. I done seen Kamaru Usman lose. I done seen Ngannou lose. Even though we haven't seen him lose as a champion yet, I've seen him. So I'm still holding out on Ngannou. But every champion, Anderson Silva, you done seen all GSP, you done seen all of these legends lose. You never saw John Jones lose to somebody in that octagon. Only dude that was able to beat him, only human that was able to beat him was John Jones himself. So, hey, congrats to Leon Edwards again. I'm very interested to see where this thing goes now, because you see, what I hope they don't do is try to book Leon to fight a whole bunch of other dudes before Kamaru get his rematch. Kamaru should get his rematch as soon as he want his rematch, or as soon as it's possible to book these two to get a rematch, just like Amanda Nunes was able to get her rematch immediately against Juliana Pena. And I think the UFC learned from this after that debacle with the Ronda Rousey shit. How when she lost the title, you let Holly Holmes fight, but then she lose the title in her next fight, so she can't come back and fight Ronda. And then you trying to book her to fight the woman who beat her, but then Amanda Nunes come in and beat her. And so now you got to book Ronda to fight Amanda Nunes. And at the time, Amanda wasn't what she is now. And so everybody was like, okay, well, this is even better. Ronda about to come in and beat her and get the title back, and then we can book the Holly Holmes. It'll all work out. And then Ronda just came in and got slaughtered by the Lioness, Amanda Nunes. It was a hell of a sight. Both of Ronda's losses was crazy. But respect to Dana, because he still be saying that he think that Ronda is one of the GOATs, like one of the top 5 in his books in the UFC. And to think that Ronda is still one of the GOATs, because I agree. I don't think she greater than Amanda Nunes as far as like in the octagon. But what she did, I can't deny what she did for UFC, for women's UFC sports. She is the reason that Dana brought women to the UFC. He is the reason, like, she was the first woman in the UFC to headline a main event of a UFC pay-per-view. She took the UFC in places like Conor did, like outside of where it was originally at. Like, these might not be the greatest in-ring competitors in UFC history, even though both Ronda and Conor did have crazy ass runs when they first got there. Like, they wouldn't have been able to get as big as they did if not for the fact that they were winners and champions for so long and defended titles. So you can say all you want to about how great people are now, but you cannot deny what Ronda was able to do. Like, you can harp on Ronda's L's, her 2 L's to leave the UFC, but you can't deny all the things she did before those 2 losses. Like, point blank period. I truly believe Ronda had bad coaching in her corner, trying to convince her that she can go in there and stand up and box with Holly Holmes. Oh, Ronda can box with Floyd Mayweather. Like, that type of ridiculousness in your ear. I understand hyping up your competitor and hyping up your champion. Ronda Rousey was already big time. You didn't have to go around saying stupid shit like that. And then not only were you saying that type of stupid shit, in the beginning it's just funny and shit, right? Just hyping her up. And then it got to the point where you motherfuckers started believing it. And you tried to box with Holly Holmes, a boxing champ. That makes no sense. Like, one of the best female boxers in UFC history, why would you be trying to stand up with her? That makes no sense. So, you know, people can talk about how Ronda's downfall, if you want to call it that. Even though I think Ronda doing damn good for herself right now in the WWE, she is killing it. But, you can't forget about all them dubs that she had before that. And people can talk about Conor McGregor and how he done went out in his last couple. At the end of the day, you got to remember all them dubs he was getting. How big he got. The fight with Floyd. How big he got of the UFC on that type of stage where Floyd was paying it. Like, come on now. And I think Ronda kind of had a more dominant run than Conor, but nonetheless, I got to give both of them respect. When Dana put both of those two in the top 10, I don't get mad because I understand Ronda. Because I put Ronda in my top 5 all the time for UFC. Because I have to give her the respect she deserved for what she did for females, women in the UFC. Point blank, period. I have to. I'm not talking about what other women did for their sports and other women and little girls around the world. I understand that, but I'm talking about in the context of the UFC, what Ronda did for little girls and people who wanted and women who wanted to be fighters. Dana, like, I think it was a document. Dana does not have women in the UFC if not for Ronda Rousey. And so I get why she can be considered a top 5. Like, maybe you don't want to have her in the top 5, but I do believe that, and maybe it's because Amanda, as big as I think Amanda is, she haven't, like, Ronda Rousey is big wherever street she walked down. Like, you can show Ronda Rousey's face to most people and they'll know who Ronda is. Now, I understand she got that appeal in the WWE also, but she came to the WWE with that type of branding. Like, Ronda Rousey is big time. And you have to put into account how big a superstar is at the height. And even after Ronda's career in the UFC, she is big as she is now after the UFC. So, to me, if I had to rank, anytime I'm doing the top 5 UFC fighters all time, Ronda Rousey have to be the number 1 woman on my list. It's kind of like a Curry changed the game of basketball, so he got to be a top 5 player, like people would say for MJ or whatever. Ronda changed UFC for women forever and changed UFC, so she have to be the best woman of all time in my opinion, especially when she do have accolades on her list, and she got matches where she was dominant for a while, bro. Like, think about the last dominant women champion in the UFC. Ronda and Amanda. Those are the last dominant champions who defended their titles multiple times. Like, it's only Ronda and Amanda the last couple times. Like, most of the women who become champion lose their title within the next 2 fights. So Ronda she have the resume to back it up. What she did outside the cage backs it up. Ronda, to me, do have to be considered the greatest female women's UFC fighter. Oh, excuse me. Greatest UFC women's fighter of all time. Right, and I would put Amanda under her. Because, I mean, what Ronda done for the sport. I don't even think nobody done hit her heights since she done left. Yeah, Amanda done hit the accolades, but surpassed the accolades. But nobody done had Ronda's type of star appeal. And that's crazy when you think about it. Ronda ain't been in the UFC in what, like 5-6 years? It's been women who've been just as dominant as Ronda as far as like in-ring skills. Well, no, just Amanda and Valentina Shevchenko. It was a woman that I was forgetting. Valentina Shevchenko. And I know some people want to use Thug Rose, and I love Thug Rose, but Thug Rose, she did defend her title twice against Wei Lee. Well, she beat Wei Lee for the title, then she defended against Wei Lee. But then she lost the next fight in what was probably one of the worst title fights I've ever seen in my lifetime. Like, that was more equivalent to a champion basically saying, yeah, you can have this tonight. Excuse me. So, that was weird. But I wouldn't put Thug Rose on the list. Shevchenko is on the list because she have been dominant, even though I think she lost her last fight. And it's still wild to me that they gave her that decision. Like, I didn't even rewatch that fight a couple times. her last fight with I can't remember the woman's name at the moment, but I don't watch her last fight a couple times. I don't know how she won that one. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how she won that one, but that's that thing where they say you gotta knock a champion out. I don't agree with that, cause sometimes motherfuckers just don't go down. But I get it. But it do suck that the woman she fought might end up having to go like. Just imagine how her career changed if she beat Valentina Shevchenko. Now, I'm always thinking about the money for these individuals because I want everybody to be rich. But just think about, how her career just flips if she wins that fight. But, hey, they should throw that shit on the card. They should throw that shit on the card full of rematches, bro. Dana, that's a card full of Come on, son. And when is Bones supposed to be fighting, yo? He supposed to be fighting Stipe at some point in time, ain't he? I'm getting scared that Bones been out of the octagon a little bit too long now. I'm a big component of Bones can do things that other people can't do. But, man, he done been out of the octagon for a long time. And he moving up to heavyweight with that killer up there. Because I think he can beat Stipe, but it's that other killer up there, Ngannou. That boy Ngannou something different. Bro, Ngannou's strong as shit. If y'all had saw his fight against Cyril Gane, the way he was able to keep Cyril Gane on the ground, bro, because Cyril Gane just could not match this man's strength. That shit was crazy. But, yo, I'm very disappointed in how I saw Kamaru lose last night, man. It really did something to my soul when I saw him lose actually this morning, not last night. It was so wild. I'm like, man, not Kamaru, not Usman, not the Nigerian Nightmare. But, hey, it's going to be some beautiful things that happen after this. I guarantee it. I got to go see if Sean O'Malley fought last night. It's not that I'm a Sean O'Malley fan, but I want to see. I'm not a hater of Sean O'Malley either. I think it is kind of weird that the Sugar Sean Athletic Commission keeps saying that he ain't got a loss on his record, as Chael Sonnen would like to call it. But, yeah, I'm not. It's not really that I'm a fan of his. It's not that I don't hate him either. But I don't know how good he really is, cause the people he done fought really ain't. They not what the top of the division got. So, seeing him fight Pierre Yan, that is a great. I want to see what he can do against Pierre. Because if he truly the stand-up magician that people say he is, like, people kind of think the way people talk about Sean O'Malley, and I done seen Sean fight, but the way people, I just haven't seen enough. The way people talk about Sean O'Malley make me think that he like a Conor McGregor type of fighter. And so that'll be interesting, fighting Pierre Yan, a dude who like to get in close with you, wrestle you up, rough you up a little bit. And Pierre can't throw, but I think O'Malley gonna have a height advantage, reach advantage, all that type shit. The strike, I think he the better pure striker too, possibly. I am not going to miss that fight unless I've already missed it, in which case I'm talking stupid right now. But I appreciate y'all for joining me on a quick episode of Kicking It with Saint. We didn't really break down the fight because I missed the fight, but I did see the fight this morning. But I just wanted to get my thoughts on it real fast. Congratulations to Leon Edwards, man. I'm excited to see where all of this shit goes. And Dana is a brilliant mind when it comes to booking this type shit. So he used to be a boxing promoter. That's why he's so good at this shit. I think that's what he used to be, a boxing promoter. So that's why Dana's so good at booking this shit. But I appreciate y'all for joining me, man. Tell somebody you fuck with him. Tell somebody you love him, man. Make somebody's day doper. That's the goal for today. Make somebody's day doper, man. Saint out.
I got the moves like hot sauce. Lil' mama taking the top off. I'm laying down getting topped off. After this, she know she getting knocked off. I know she loving the money, so I keep on thumbing and thumbing. She say she horny when she taking shots, so I keep them coming and coming. Now I'm putting dick in her tummy. Scoop her up like I'm raking her something. You would think shawty red track, the way that she running and running. You getting dumber and dumber. You out here chasing the bone. After she finished from giving me dome, the Uber is taking her home. Tight.